Why don't we just talk about multiplayer games? No, what games do you play? What games do you like?
So I play Hearthstone a lot. Hearthstone, as a big Magic nerd,
I remember.
Lots of card games, lots of tournaments. It was really easy to get into playing Hearthstone.
Pretty simple game.
For the most part. There's lots of randomness, which is fun and equally horrible at the same time.
Frustrating to some.
There's the last couple sets. There's been some pretty big. There are lots of cards that had lots of random card generation that tend to
Swing a game.
really swing things way too much, or that whole line of. That's when randomness doesn't get fun, is when you have a deck that has a mission, has a goal, and then too often you're undone by the randomness.
So why do you play Hearthstone then?
It's addicting. So a couple of years ago, I don't even know how old it is, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they came out with a mode called Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Which is essentially it's like an auto battler. So I'm trying to think of the other ones. The names are escaping me. But essentially, that's basically the main thing I play. I don't really play Constructed a lot, and Battlegrounds it's a free-to-play mode, so it doesn't cost anything.
Is it limited like a draft or a seal?
Nope. So the only thing you really need to know is like the cards and what they do. And that's where, like, if you played the game a lot and you played Constructed, because a lot of the cards that are in Constructed they use for that game mode. There's some that are specifically designed for Battlegrounds, but for the most part, if you know the cards from the game, you're going to know what the cards do in the system. So if someone new coming into it, it's going to take some time, like anything, to get used to the card pool.
Yeah.
But it's completely free. The only thing, you can pay like $20 for like a pass. So like at the beginning of the game, you'd get like you have like 4 heroes to choose from, and there's like literally like 80. So if you don't have the pass, 2 of them are grayed out, so you can only pick from 2. So if you pay for the pass, you get an option of 4, and then you get like access to new heroes when they come out. But like each hero has their own unique power that does different things to the minions that you buy. So it's basically a buy-sell system. You have a row of minions. You have so much gold per turn. You buy a minion. That,
I've seen those types of games.
Yeah,
Dota
exactly.
did something like that. It was like originally a.
I can't believe I can't think of the
Auto Battler or something like that. I forget what it's called. I know Dota had something like that. And it's a popular. League of Legends did something like that too, because it became really popular. I think it was called Auto Battler.
Yeah, it was Team Fight Tactics. That's a big popular one, and there's a few others that came out, but oh man, it's just the fact that it's free is like really
you can't beat free.
And I don't know. There's the auto obviously the term auto battler is already randomness inducing, but there's some controlled chaos.
I like those.
There's a certain way things attack unless they specifically say so, and so it's almost like when you play like certain games in a casino, right? Like blackjack, for example. Like you don't have a lot of control. But it's one of the...
You still make decisions.
Right. There's certain things that you can do and place and minion placement and how do you order stuff.
It sounds like my kind of thing.
To kind of put things in your favor. And then again, once you get used to the minions and what they do, then you can kind of once you get to the end of the game or the middle of the game, the minions that you might see or as you go up in tier, okay, well, this guy who has this hero, he may be going for this particular build. He may want to buy this minion. If he buys this minion, then I'm going to get wrecked because I have these. Yeah. So then you might end up selling one of your better ones to tech against. So there's a bunch of mind games that goes with it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really
I see why it's popular. I never actually tried them, but it sounds really appealing when you put it like that. Because I like games like a board game Talisman where there's a lot of randomness, but there's ways to mitigate it. Yep. And you kind of guide it, and things go wrong, things go right, but you still have some sort of significant input. Especially with have you ever played Talisman or no?
I mean, I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Well, in Talisman, there's this. You got stats, everything. Yeah. Your character, whatever. But one of the stats is Fate, which essentially lets you reroll. Okay. So there's a lot of and you're only rolling a d6 for your movement, for example. and you can
D6
see,
is
okay,
good.
well, if I roll, what would I be happy to roll? Like, if I roll a 3 or a 5, I'll be landing on these two spaces, and they're both like, I would want to get there. I would be happy with either of those outcomes. So, how many times I want to try and re-roll, stuff like that, or
Okay.
like how
Are there penalties when you, like, if you choose to reroll? Are there penalties? Or
you only just takes away from your fate pool, and you can replenish it later. So
Gotcha.
it's meant to be used.
So
but
it's like any
still
kind of
limited.
resource type game. The more you use that, then the less you'll be able to do other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might something like later. Like it's all D6 based. Like if you are fighting a monster, like your strength stat is compared to a flat number, and you roll a die and add it to your
Interesting.
strength. As long as you get higher, you'll win. So you could be like, well, do I want to guarantee or try to guarantee that I land somewhere good, or do I want to save this die roll for if I have to
Okay.
fight something hard?
Yeah, so
Or
there's
you
some
see what I'm
similarities.
saying?
Yeah.
Or people can land on your square and be forced to fight them, so you might want to have one in your pocket for.
Okay.
Because when you beat someone in that game, like when you land on the tile, you fight.
Is this a board game or is this an
this is a
actual-
board game.
okay.
It's a crazy board game. Talisman's nuts. If you land on their space and beat them, you can take one of their items, which is huge because items are like massively important.
My board game is weak. The amount of people I know
mine's
that
also
play
very
board
weak.
games and have board game nights and everything, and like the only one I've literally ever played. I mean, I've never played Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of is it was like there's like monsters. There's like an ape and a lizard and like Tokyo,
They're pretty fun, but
and like that's all I remember.
I hate every time you sit down and play, you got to teach someone, and it's always like, usually it's me. You got to teach, even if I played it before.
Yeah,
it's like an hour investment.
It's I don't know. I feel like with board games, it's almost like a hardcore hobby to a lot. Because like if you don't play a lot and you're constantly, like you said, you're constantly the one that has to be taught things. And if you're not going to play consistently, then I can see certain instances where someone might be hesitant, like to not want to waste their time.
Yeah.
You know,
That's me.
this guy again.
Yeah.
Like,
Chris, again.
get out of here.
Coming here needing rules explained to him. It's called Monopoly. This is how you play. No.
What's the longest game of Monopoly you ever played?
I tried to wash any memories of playing Monopoly out of my mind.
I mean, it's nothing crazy. I think mine was like 7 hours.
How? How do you not stop after like
Just ruthless.
an hour?
No one wanted to lose.
People are that competitive over it?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play by the exact rules. Like technically, like you're not supposed to be. It's weird. Like you can't like when you go like buy houses and hotels, you have to buy one for each before you can buy a second for each. But like we would play by the rules where we would just like dump all of our houses on like one.
That's
and
how it works
hope
in
to get
real
lucky.
life. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, I mean, alcohol may have been involved, and some rules may have been, as the game went on. But
Was there resentment towards the banker?
well, the banker had to be watched. He was notorious. He was your typical fat cat that take from the poor.
Were you the banker?
Take from the poor and give
Okay.
to the rich. No,
Yeah, those bankers.
the same person always wanted to be the banker, and we always had to make sure banker, not baker. We had to we had to keep an eye on him, even though it was a fun game. He took a little, where are all the 500s?
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna cheat, I mean, can you like be?
How did 8 hotels get on
Yeah,
the Go Square?
Can you be? Why is there an actual plot of dirt sitting on Boardwalk right now? Like, come on, man! Like,
Why is my house being mortgaged right now?
I had a front door to my house when we started this game.
Yeah.
Now I felt a breeze. Why is there no front to my house anymore? Like,
How do you own
on,
the
man.
jail square? I didn't think this was possible, but no. So multiplayer gaming, that's a big thing.
Yeah. So zombies has always been my next favorite as far as in the last several years.
Like the zombie mode in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but people are like hardcore about the zombie
more
mode.
of a fan of the earlier Call of Duties, like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2.
Their zombie modes.
Yeah, because as time has gone on, which I know, like as more and more games come out, you kind of have to introduce new aspects and change things up and make things new. But as they do that, they come out with more and more powerful things. Sometimes some more convoluted,
Broken stuff.
broken things.
Yeah.
Like when not this last one. What was the one before this? Cold War. Black Ops Cold War came out, is like based in the 80s, and like zombies modes back in the day, like unless you were like super like in the top 0.01% that could grind to like level 200 or something, most games you'd get to level 20, 40, 50 maybe, and that would take hour, 2 hours. But now, like especially with some of the newer ones, I mean, there's tactics and things you can find to where you can just spam to like level, I mean, 4,000, 2,000. It'll cycle over itself, and the counter will restart over, and it's just there's like exploits and stuff, and there's exploits in all sorts of games, but that's kind of like the older ones, because like the first Black Ops, it was just like you had some pretty basic maps, nothing too overpowered, and it was really a skill base. You know, it really tested your skill on how good you could really just kind of do the same thing over and over again without messing up. Whereas the newer ones, there's so many ways to buy out and
crazy exploits.
Yeah,
were they at least fun exploits? Like,
no, it's just
darn
grindy. It's you know standing in the same spot and firing so long and making sure you turn to a certain side every time. You have to use the same ability, like you can only use one ability. You can only use one. Or a couple different weapons, and it's just like you have to be it's almost like with speedrunning, like you have to be a specific type of person to be able to grind a round in zombies or things like that for that long.
Yeah, you have to be really,
because like with speedrunning, it's like in order to play the same game over and over and over and over and over again to try to get the next
crazy times,
tenth of a second off. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it sounds not like fun casual zombie. Was there like persistent leveling up in those things, or was it just like you started off fresh every time?
You start off fresh every time, and then as you go, basically the only thing that changes is the number of zombies that spawn per round, and every so many rounds they would get increased health or do increased damage, and then you could buy perks and things to give yourself more life and buy better weapons. But again, that changed as the games went on. I mean, you could upgrade your gun 2, 3, 4 times, and then you get, things to add on to those abilities and the multipliers to those. And
oh yeah, that sounds fun too.
That part's fun, but then again, once it gets to a certain point, it's like,
it's too much.
Over and over and
I'm
over.
tagging out. Yeah. Much more fun when it's clearly you're at a disadvantage and you're just gonna get crushed and you're fighting to try and get one more wave or something.
I think. I mean, besides those two, you ever play Fall Guys? You ever
Fall Guys? I have heard of it. It seemed fun.
It's not technically. I mean, technically multiplayer in the sense that you have to play with a bunch of friends, but it's
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
I'm not good at it at all.
I haven't played it, but I know it's like free to play now. It seemed fun.
It's free to play now?
I think so.
It stinks. I wasted $20 on it like 3 months ago.
You and everyone else, I believe. I think it's free to play.
That thing's frustrating, man.
What's that?
That's frustrating.
What, that it goes free eventually?
No, well, I mean, yeah, the fact that if I would have waited $3, I would have had an extra $20 in my pocket. But the game itself, like, just the mechanics are perfect, are purposely made to be like kind of wonky.
Isn't that the point, though? Isn't that like the whole point? Is
But it's like when you start playing, you want to like not have that and just be good.
Oh, come on, no.
Yeah.
Why?
You never played a game like that where you're like, okay, this is unique, but I wish they would just go back to normal so I could just beat everybody.
No, I want to embrace the chaos.
That's fair.
I would be the guy. I've seen the videos where people like camp one particular spot, and just try to grab them off the ledge, even though they know they'll lose the round doing it.
I don't know if it's that bad anymore, but like, I mean, obviously, like cheating is kind of a big bummer. Like every now and then, I'd hop in a game, you just see someone just kind of like levitate and just shoot up, or you'd have like the tryhards that would know like
the perfect route. That looked more annoying.
The perfect timing to just
that looked way more annoying. Where there was no like randomness to the levels.
No,
so people could figure that would make it pointless to me. I would think that's why I didn't want to play it, because it was like, all right, well. Yeah. Once people figure out, like, this is the way you go every single time.
Exactly.
I would hate that.
It reminds me of, like, MXC. Do you remember MXC?
No.
There was it was like a Japanese game show.
Oh, yes.
Most Extreme Challenge.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think Fall Guys is, except it's not as funny. It is funny. It's a funny game.
It's hard to beat MXC.
As far as modern though, like there's not too many other multiplayer games I can say that I played on the regular. I dabbled in Smash for a little bit, like the newer one, but I didn't play it a whole lot. Were you a big Smash?
Nah, the other guy who's on here, Darren, is super into Smash, but I could never get into Smash Brothers. I never really played fighting games until not too long ago when I started to really appreciate them. I played like the Guilty Gear Blaze Blue kind of games where it's like super fast, and I was like, oh, this is pretty crazy. And it's very traditional, like 2D. There's no items. Yeah. Yoshi's not swallowing you and turning you into a fucking egg and whatever the hell's going on. I don't know. Smash seems it's cool. I'm glad people like it and all, but it definitely seems just odd. Like it feels like jumping is really disadvantageous. I don't know.
It depends. I mean, jumping is a big part of the game itself, but it's I don't know. I think even though I like the newer games, I still like the older, like Melees and the original, and I even got into. I mean, there's a con for everything nowadays, but I found. I want to say it was a year ago. I found there's a Smash Con.
Oh yes,
and they have.
Keep going.
They have what is it called? They have combo contests for the original Smash.
I've seen some of those.
Yeah,
those are cool.
If no one's ever seen those, you should look up some of the old like Smash Con vids where they do the combo contests. It's all scripted, so they know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But to see some of these things pulled off on a console like N64, it's pretty mind blowing. But that's definitely
cool.
A multiplayer game over the years that I've definitely sunk some hours to, more so in the past than now. But I don't know. How about you? Like, you have any Stone Cold favorites? Or
don't worry, I'm still stuck on Smash here.
Okay,
I want to make sure everyone downvotes this video.
No.
Talk about how much I dislike Smash.
Nah, Smash is fun.
See, the thing I don't like about it is people are like, they're trying to turn it into something that I feel like it's not. To me, at least, where they're getting rid of items and only certain stages, and it's only one-on-one. Ron's here. We're talking multiplayer
What's
games.
up, Ron?
My problem with Smash is that you can't just casually play Smash. All of your friends are 1,000% into that game, and it just makes it not fun when you get just hammer-fisted by literally every character on the roster.
Yeah, that too. That's every fighting game. But at least with Smash, there's like items and 4-player. Like, I don't know. It just seems like you're cutting out so much of the game. It's like, all right, here's a level that takes place on the Great Fox from Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what's wrong with that?
Ask the Smash fans. They're the ones that are like, Final Destination only, no items.
So, okay, I understand what you're saying. I partly agree with that. Final Destination is the best map ever because, one of the best maps, in my opinion, for fighting, just because there's no obstacles. It's just, if you're good at wave dashing, if you're good at all the little tech tricks, there's nothing to get in your way, and it's at that point, it's very a skill-based thing, which is why in tournament play, you see it, which I don't even know if in the current iteration if it's a banned map or not. But that's why you always see the very basic. It's always either Final Destination or it's like a map with one main island and 2 or 3 small islands, and that's it.
I never considered that aspect, actually, where it's like,
oh yeah,
like I've never done the wave dashing thing part of it.
I'll put it this way: it feels bad to be in at least competitively. It's like when you get in a position and like the stage wins and you lose. Random tree decides to turn the wrong way, blow you, or
that's the chaos factor I like, though.
That's the chaos factor, yes. But when you're dealing with the competitive side of things, then you don't want.
It's definitely not.
You don't want randomness.
Yeah. Not what you want in a fighting game.
Unless they,
I understand. Yeah,
like I mean, in a lot of Mortal Kombat, Tekken, all that stuff, there's no randomness. It's all.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's why Smash is different. So you'd think like you'd incorporate some of that in.
Yeah.
Or at least have a different. Category like when they go do like Evo competitions or big gaming competitions, or if you go to a local gaming store and you have a competition or a tournament, like you could maybe have one out of every 4 tournaments you do, one could be like everything, no holds barred.
Items crazy.
Or just like max items.
Teams, or who knows,
Spawn crazy, just
where's my
random.
8-player tournament?
I remember, what was it, MegaCon, like 16 years ago? It was a long time ago. Like the Star Fox game had just come out for GameCube.
Yeah.
That was complete trash. And I had entered in a Smash tournament, and I ended up winning. I was in the top 4, and this was in Smash Melee.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone out there remembers the Ice Climber stage.
Oh, yes.
But it was a vertical scrolling, and the guy I played, like, he was a really good Samus, and I was just derping around with Ness, because Ness has always been my main. I love Ness. And the thing with Ness, though, is he's got a very big jump. And it's double jump. So it was very easy to stay ahead of all the obstacles and whatnot. And I ended up just avoiding him the whole time. And he ended up dying. And I went to go shake his hand. And he was like, don't shake my hand, man. You just, the stage wins. And he just leaves. And then I thought I made out good because I got like this awesome game that I took home and ended up being complete garbage.
You were probably the catalyst for why these rules were implemented.
Hey, who knows? I mean, it could have.
There's documentaries about you. People have been searching decades for you. The original cheeser.
I mean, I am a boomer. That goes back all the way to 2005. So
this is a boomer safe zone.
What else? The extras in Smash are fun too. Like
that's what I'm saying. There's so much cool stuff.
I remember spending hours with friends on like home run contests.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of anything.
All right. Well, let me put this forward.
Okay.
So obviously we can agree, Smash likes the concrete, no nonsense. But then look at how popular these Fortnites and Apex Legends. There's tons of randomness in that, and they're massively popular.
What's random? What's random about Fortnite?
The item drops. There's like different rarities of items that you can find in the chests.
Okay.
You might get a crazy gun. You might get nothing useful. You might not be able to find a gun when you drop. And there's huge tournaments around those.
Fortnite is, but that's like a minuscule amount of randomness. Like that's like a randomness that I think it's like fair randomness. Like if someone, and not only that, but like if you open up and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be speaking out of ignorance here because I've played maybe 10 rounds. I've watched a lot though. You could open a chest, get like a gold weapon, but the gold weapon is something that you'd never use, or something that you're just not a proficient in, right? Like you might get like there's plenty of games that I've played in the past, or even Hearthstone and other games where it's like there's the meta decks, there's like the best guns, the best weapons, but for whatever reason, I'm a monster, I'm a beast with this. Particular pistol or this particular gun, and you've played so many games with it, you just know how to, play it better. So that randomness and that advantage kind of gets flipped on its head to where, like, you're more proficient and you might actually have an advantage over someone else.
Yeah, I mean, but that's...
How about that?
Hey, I would rather play Apex Legends than Smash. If I had to pick one game to play competitively,
I should give it a try. I've never played Apex. It's
pretty fun. It's pretty good actually. I'm very old guard PC gaming here.
Okay.
So I look at these games and I think, worst thing you could ever.
You're talking to a newbie. I'm 1 year into the PC master race. I've been a console guy my whole life, and finally last year I
finally joined.
Now that I still play dumb games that I can't use the full potential of this beast I built.
Yep, that's a life.
I'll learn my ways.
Apex. I mean, have you played a lot of shooting with the keyboard and mouse or no?
No, I mean, 20 years of using the controller. It's hard to give it up. Now, like games like StarCraft and stuff, I would my macro skills were okay, but the Switch has been rough, so I'm still a controller baby. Nah,
it's all right. But Apex Legends, no, it's legitimately good shooting. I played a lot of shooters. I mean, as far as that modern aim down sights kind of game, it is legitimately good gunplay, what they call it. Like good recoil, cool different guns, lots of different guns.
Yeah.
very satisfying, and the movement's good. It's very surprising to
definitely
see
looks like a solid
like
game.
what is. I mean, because I'm used to like the most popular things not being that like well made. I guess.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah.
it's like, all right, well, it's kind of pleases everyone sort of thing, but.
Yeah, as long
Even
as
Fortnite too, I thought had pretty decent shooting.
I love games like that too, as long as those little things aren't like game breakers.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like if it's just something dumb or doesn't really affect anything, then fine. But yeah, if you can please most of the crowd and there be a couple little blips somewhere, that's
No, it's a good game. I enjoyed playing it for when I did play. It was
definitely like the maps. The maps definitely look very
yeah, that too.
detailed.
Yeah, they're big and they have more than
elevation
one map
changes.
too in Apex Legends, which that's one thing I hated
Really,
about.
I thought it was just one big giant one.
For Fortnite, I think it is, but they do changes with the maps, I think. But
Okay.
Apex Legends was that's something I like. There's different maps and different like one part might be like valleys or more open field and one's kind of more urbanish.
Okay.
It's very interesting. I liked when it'd be easy for them to just rest on their laurels to say.
Yeah.
Like Dota and League of Legends, where you have the one fucking map that's existed since time has begun, basically.
Yeah, but with games, I mean, the games like those though, it's like the balance is so crucial to everything that just if they were to make another map where even if the shape had changed, but
Sorry,
all the
yeah.
distances between everything, I'm sure that is going to throw off.
Like a bunch of characters, yeah.
You know, it'll break a character or not. You know, it'll make some character that was useless broken with something, and that's why I can never be in game design. I mean, every time you change one thing, you got to think of 30
Like a
things that
million
could
things.
affect.
Yeah.
The butterfly effect almost.
I don't know. I like the just where it's kind of like where there's favored. You know, there's multiple maps, but some maps favor certain characters, and that's just kind of
Yeah.
how it is. And if there's certain character, like, all right, well, this map favors character A, well, character B is just very good against character A. So if you know that
Is it a voting system?
for the Dota and
map.
stuff, for the map, well,
like-
no, it's just one map for Dota and League of Legends.
Well, no,
No, they cycle it by time.
Okay.
In tournaments, though, I
I
think
feel like
it's-
if they did like a Call of Duty type thing, where like if they had like 4 or 5 maps and you had the
Yeah.
option between two, and like the people who
Vote.
were gonna pick a vote, then you'd have more control over who you play, and it would make it better to like you know, going in, you know who everyone's gonna be. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you have to think on the fly. Oh shit, crap,
All
we're
right,
playing
yeah.
here, and you
They
know,
got Ninja Guy.
yeah.
But no. Multiplayer games I was super into. Well, console multiplayer games. What console multiplayer games was I super into? Not many. I mostly played PC games. Jedi Knight 2 was a big one for me.
Okay,
Old school
yeah.
lightsaber duels, and the multiplayer was amazing. There were, for some reason, it was
Old
like
lightsaber.
a multiplayer like free-for-all game, but there was an ability in the game where you could challenge someone to a duel in this. It was like a regular deathmatch game, but they had this mechanic where you could aim at someone and press like K or something, and you would challenge them to a duel. And if they
Okay.
did the same to you, you would like it would form a ring, and it'd be like a countdown, and then you two were the only ones that could actually harm each other.
Okay.
So it was like
Oh, so it's almost
legitimately
like Diablo 2.
yeah. It was
Okay.
sort of like, or hey, you duel someone in, and like an MMO, you do /duel. They had that in the game.
Okay.
So there's one map in particular that had this little like landing pad for a ship, but there's no ship there. So it was just this circular pad. So it became like a famous place for people to just duel there. And people would just stand around the outside in the ring.
So it was like a Greek.
It was like some Fight Club like level. I don't know.
Get him on one knee, you hold up the thumb.
Exactly.
What am I doing?
Like kicking him out of the server or not.
That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
It was incredibly fun to just see.
I'm trying to think. They did. You ever play Borderlands? at
Yeah.
all? Borderlands. I don't know if Borderlands 1 did it, but Borderlands 2 they had the same thing where when you start a fight, except in Borderlands and beyond, like there were exploits where you could like dupe guns and do crazy stuff.
You could do crazy stuff in Jedi Knight 2.
How old is that?
Jedi Knight 2?
Yeah.
I think it was early to mid 2000s game. pretty old.
Yeah.
But pretty fun game. I sunk a lot of hours into. Warcraft 3 was another one I played a ton. I played a lot of Warcraft 3. Did you ever play that one or
No, Warcraft 2, yes.
You play a lot of Warcraft 2.
Warcraft 2, I mean, it was
man.
school, class was over, go play as much as I can. I think my family finally got our first computer at home right as 2, like the last year 2 was out, and then 3 came out. And I played 3 a lot at my friends' houses, but I never actually owned it. And then I don't know how long after that World of Warcraft came out, and I never bought it. I wish I did.
What, World of Warcraft?
I wish I would have gotten in on the ground level.
I didn't get it either. For me, it kind of killed the Warcraft 3 community. There was the big thing about Warcraft 3 were the custom maps people could make.
Okay.
For it, that's where League of Legends came from, was a Warcraft 3 custom map.
How did it kill the Warcraft?
Because once World of Warcraft came out,
Yeah.
like everybody back then, like Warcraft 3 had chat rooms within the game that people used to communicate, and they had Battle.net, their friends.
Okay.
So everyone was playing that, but then there's this new Warcraft game coming out. It's a different game, but everyone wanted to play that, and then once everyone got hooked to it,
Gotcha.
people stopped making maps for Warcraft 3. But it's still going strong now, Warcraft 3, actually, in terms of map making and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Like, Warcraft 3 is like a treasure chest of different games. Like, you can play a go-kart game, and you could play, like, zombie survival and all these other things.
That sounds a lot very similar to when I played StarCraft a lot.
Yeah.
They make all the combat, what was it?
Use map
Not
settings.
Temple Run, like the tower defense.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I was so addicted to that, man.
Yeah.
Did they have any kind of tower defense?
Oh, yeah. There was all sorts of games. Tower defense, RPG sort of games, like just everything you could imagine. It was just a lot of fun.
Tower defense is low-key like one of my favorite types of games.
Tower defense is good. It's good stuff. What about local multiplayer games? You ever...
Oh, I mean,
a console.
GoldenEye.
Big GoldenEye fan? All right, tell me the stories.
I know everybody says they were the best.
Mm-hmm. But
I was particularly good, at least in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
I never used the odd job or any of the crazy characters. I was just a normal guy.
Honorable man.
But I was really good at the strafe running. I was really good at some people may not know this. I'm sure most do. You could like pop like around a corner.
Yeah.
Like if you held like the trigger, but you press like one of the C buttons, you
could lean.
You could peek.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. So like you obviously when you're looking at the other player, the whole body just comes in and out. So there's no like peeking. But yeah, you could like strafe in, strafe out, and you could like bait someone to come in and chase after you, and
snap.
Proximity mine them or something. What was the map we always played on? It was like huge. It was
Complex.
Yeah, that's the one that had like the underground and the above ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just the replayability of that game, all the unlocks you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, when that came out, I think I maybe was in 7th or 8th grade, so it was like a lot of sleepovers. Like, hey, come sleep over. I'll come over to your house and
we're playing GoldenEye.
Stay up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Just that was good times. It's kind of cliche to say, but that's probably in my life my favorite local game. Second would be Perfect Dark, only because it's like the spiritual successor to
GoldenEye.
And it was basically like the thing about GoldenEye that's so good is that when they made other multiplayer James Bond games, as Tomorrow Never Dies and The World Is Not Enough, and they didn't really copy the formula of GoldenEye, so they were remade and they just weren't the same.
Yeah.
Once Perfect Dark came out, it was literally like they took the game of GoldenEye and just gave it a complete makeover. It was almost like they remade the game, but just different characters and different whatever.
Yeah.
And with new technology. So, like, that game was... I probably have more hours into that, if not more than GoldenEye. And the same thing. I mean, we would just...
Yeah.
All night. It was...
Perfect Dark was great.
it was, and not only that, but like all the guns had like secondary modes, and there's, you know, it was there was just so many firsts when that game came out that were, it just made for just amazing gameplay and amazing times. And besides those two, though, I mean, Halo was probably the last one.
Oh yeah.
You know, Halo LAN parties.
I played a lot of Halo 3 multiplayer. That was my. I'll get to Halo 3, but no, people don't seem to like Perfect Dark as much as GoldenEye.
Yeah,
why is that?
It's you know,
They just don't know. You know,
it could be social things. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? You know, you get rid of James Bond for Joanna Dark. A little cartoony because it had an alien, but then again, like James Bond's got, you know, a short Asian guy and a giant guy named Jaws. Like, you know, when you go look back and you watch any of the older James Bond movies, like it's just so like there's just so much tongue in cheek, just horrible, like, you know, puns for when someone gets, you know,
the old 60s
dealt
sci-fi.
with. Yeah.
This is the shrink ray gun.
But so, like, you know, they can have their opinions and they're perfectly valid, but it's just...
You can trash their opinions. It's fine.
No, it's just everyone's got different tastes, but I always felt like Perfect Dark was just, you know, obviously it's better because of a number of reasons for just technology and time it was made, but it could just be a lot of personal memories, but it's probably, if I had to pick out of all of them, Perfect Dark would probably be the cream of the crop for me.
Cream of the crop. It's good to hear. I never really got into Perfect Dark multiplayer because I was kind of out of the N64.
Yeah.
I only dabbled in the N64 so long, but GoldenEye definitely played a lot of. The game modes I liked where you could explosives only or stuff like that. It was just so fun. I kind of wish those chaotic games were played on a level like even half the level of like an Apex or something where there was that in terms of popularity.
Dude,
like,
if you could play with Apex but like do that, like just everyone just has like bazookas or whatever the equivalent of a.
That'd be cool, yeah. You
know, well, can you do custom games and stuff or no?
No, they never do. I mean, I guess I think maybe there is.
Change it up a little bit.
Everything's all match me up with someone. Because I don't have friends anymore. That's every multiplayer game these days.
Yeah.
But no. Halo, you're saying? Which Halo? 1, 2, all of them?
I want to say it was probably 3.
Halo 3.
That was Halo 3, because that was the one with all the skulls. And it's funny. My favorite weapon was the shoulder laser. I don't even remember what the name of it was. But it had 5 shots, and you'd have to like charge it up. It was a laser sniper rifle.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was my favorite weapon, but it was whatever the I don't remember the name of the map, but it was like the big open map. It was like the Gulch from Halo 1, but like remastered. That was like my favorite map to play on. And that laser was right in the middle, and I would always rush to get it.
As is customary for the powerful weapon.
Every time I would rush to get it, I would get sniped right in the face by someone, and I would get so mad because I couldn't snipe.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could snipe in that game, but I couldn't.
Snipers are ruining every game, ever.
Dude, snipers.
Let's be honest. But go on.
I hate snipers.
Yeah.
In every game.
Everyone does.
But again, that's because I stink at it, and I'm no good. Otherwise, I'd probably love it.
Probably.
But again, it's just another game, man. Time doesn't matter, you know. You just sit down and you're done when you're done, and it could be 2 days from then. And but I mean, just, you know, the mechanics of the game and the gameplay, it was just perfectly balanced, and it was just a good, amazing game.
I loved Halo 3. I played a ton of multiplayer Halo 3.
What was your weapon? What was your weapon of choice?
What was my weapon of choice? I mean, tough call. I mean, I like the rocket launcher. Just stick with the powerful weapon.
Rocket launcher was pretty dope.
I mean, it's just a dunk. The hammer was great too. I think Halo 3 had the hammer where you could just dunk on people, and
the Needler was always my second.
Needler is great too.
I loved the Needler. I was really good. That was, remember back when we were talking about guns that like not necessarily everyone uses, but like I was just proficient with the Needler. Like I would get the perfect. Someone would jump out of the way. I'd always be able to like turn and get the.
Yeah, get a few more darts on them. Needler was, man,
it was
he got
the
hit
worst.
by his darts. He knew it was over.
Like, I don't remember the exact number, but you get like 10 or 11 or 12 in there, and you just no. So you chase after them, hope they don't despawn, try to get one more in, and then you finally get them, and it's like, yes.
God, getting stuck by Needlers was awful. I was like,
How about Griffball? You ever play Griffball?
no, what was that one?
It was in Halo.
What was it?
It was a custom map. I don't know if it was a Halo 3 or if it came out later ones, but it was basically a 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Everyone had hammers.
Oh, yeah.
And the only person that didn't have a hammer was the person who had the skull, and it was basically run it to the other side. So the guy with the skull could run fast and jump a little higher and stuff, but like everyone just had overpowered hammers.
Yeah, hammers that had that like lunge attack. Yeah.
Constant friendly fire.
God. This is what I'm talking about. We don't get these crazy game
That was
modes.
just mindless,
Yeah, it was like, man, this is a multiplayer game for fun, not some fucking Fall Guys hardcore. No, it was good times. And God, being able to play split screen and then go online with people was genius. It was like perfect. Me and my brother would do that all the time. It's like, all right, we're a split screen and we're play multiplayer. And it was just made sure we were always on the same team.
What are your thoughts on the split screen debate? Were you a screen? Were you always looking, or were you try your hardest not to look?
I tried not to look.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes
I am the opposite.
If
the resources are there, just because it's your part of the screen doesn't mean I can't look.
This is chaotic evil.
It's
I've never heard of it.
It's part of the game. It's part of what you're doing. So sorry. Get good. Be better.
I invited you here, but then I find out that you actually are a screen looker.
Hey, we're gonna say, man, it's hard. It's right there. Like, how you're not supposed to do it.
I know. I've looked occasionally. It's not like I'm trying to, but it's like, the temptation really gets strong, and it's like
someone who says they look occasionally means they look way. It's like the rule of 3 or whatever you want to talk. If you say you only did it so much, you definitely did it more than you said. Like,
I would never disclose this on the GOAT games.
Of course you wouldn't. Because the GOAT Games is a prestigious establishment.
Your accusations will not hold up in court.
That only holds the highest regard for rules,
honorable combat here,
and integrity of the game.
Exactly. I don't. You don't play on the weird stages and Smash Brothers, and you don't screen look. But no, screen looking was pretty funny. My friend was like the master at screen looking. That I've seen.
There was a map in GoldenEye. I can't remember what it was called, but there were like 4 little parts of the map where like you could just walk through the wall, and it was like I don't know if it was designed that way, but you just walk on the wall, and you wouldn't be able to be seen. So when the community at large found out about it, that was often used to deter the buddy you'd be playing with who's a screen watcher.
Wow.
So, like, when I found out about it, my friends didn't know. Like, we would all be playing, and I would just run in, and I would just hide, and they'd be like, where are you? And you just leave your screen faced on whatever part of the wall in this little cubby that you're in. And then you would just screen watch everyone else play. Wait till they come out. You pop out. Just pew, 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 pop back in. You would never win.
This is some next level.
You would
warfare.
never win because you were always way behind in kills because you weren't playing the game, but you were just being a mole. But it was excellent because they didn't know where you were, and then they would beg you, "Come on, man, no, sorry."
Some anti-screen looking tactics I've never heard of.
First, the ancient anti-cheat.
It was
Anti-cheat cheating.
Some people you got to put the
the
cover over or something, or they had like I think they had 3D glasses at one point that did that where you could only see part of the screen.
Really?
I want to say there was like a TV or a 3D glasses that did that.
So you couldn't really like cover half the screen because then that person just wouldn't be able to play. So that'd be
that'd be
kind of hard.
I don't know. Maybe it was only for like vertical split games. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Some people
listen
are monsters.
Anyone who's watching, I love you. But if you played horizontal split screen, you may need to go to see a doctor. Vertical split screen. If you're playing 2 people, vertical split screen is the only way to go. If you disagree, comment. Let me know what you think. But
No,
that's
no one watches
I've
this.
never played.
You're talking about down the middle, up and down.
Horizontal is not the way to go. Vertical. Like I said,
Yeah.
vertical is horrible. Horizontal is the way to go.
Yes.
Vertical. I don't even know where to start. Vertical is just the worst.
Awful. Yes. Well, there's some madmen.
I had one friend that played. I would refuse to play.
Yeah, it's
we
no
get very
longer a
angry,
friend.
and it's like, no, I'm not doing that.
What games? I don't know if there any were. I want to say Twisted Metal might have been, but I could be wrong. Or Ace Combat might have been.
Most multiplayer games that had split screen most of them had
Good
the
switch.
option to do either or.
It's like leaving the Necronomicon.
It's almost like they should have just not given you the option and just hardwired it to be horizontal.
They should
all the
have.
time.
That was just there to. That's entrapment, I believe, is the proper term.
Yeah. So I know we're talking about multiplayer games, but now that we're on
That's
the
fine.
subject of things
about
like
it.
that, big question, because I know I'm in the minority on this.
That's fine.
Camera.
Oh boy, you talking about
Are you an inverted or are you
Jesus
a non-inverted?
Christ. You asked this like. Of course, I'm not inverted.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but you will never find another inverted.
I am inverted. I am permanently, any game I get, the first thing I do is go in the options and change it to inverted look. And I was ruined by Star Fox 64.
That's fine. I keep it inverted for Star Fox.
I got too accustomed to it, and I can't. Even games where I'm playing by myself, like, you know what, maybe this would be the opportunity to untrain myself. No, everything's got to be inverted.
No, I know. Star Fox 64 taught me the same way, but I managed to condition myself.
Well, that leads back into
before
the multiplayer discussion, because there would be plenty of times where, sometimes you have more than 4 people come over. You have 5 or 6.
Yeah, hand over the controller.
Hand them the controller with inverted look. So they start playing, and the next thing you know, they're running, and their face hits the ground. They don't know what's going on, and they get off to a horrible start.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, remember that last game where you were like, you honed in on me, you made my game horrible.
Yep.
Now you got to try to change all this stuff while you're playing, while you're getting shot at.
Yeah,
Not
if the
easy.
game let you change.
Very small amount of pressure to deal with, but you're just,
It's a good.
next thing you know, you're dead
Curse.
2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and you're way behind.
That gives you the edge. You do that in like a. That's why you do button checks.
You ever know anybody that played with inverted horizontal controls?
I don't want to know if those people exist. There's like
I've
a
always
madman
wondered
out
that.
there.
Like,
I don't think so.
that's the worst. Like, there's certain games where stages or even multiplayer games where they'll there'll be an effect that'll turn on where all your controls get inverted, and that's
Yeah.
hard enough. But like, vertical is
Willingly.
easy enough to deal with. But I would like to meet the angel. I like to meet
That's no angel.
the mermaid, the unicorn,
Devil
the
is.
mythical beast out there that uses horizontal inverted controls on the reg.
I don't think
I've never
it
seen
might
one.
exist. Like I think technically, like when it's third person, like sometimes invert is what you're actually used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can turn your character left, but sometimes they'll kind of like start off with the weird reverse,
Sure.
like where you push left on the stick and it'll move your camera to the right. Something like that, maybe I could understand, but
That's
Like,
I noticed that a
first-person
lot.
shooter.
What was the game? Resident Evil. When I played Resident Evil a lot on console, with
Yeah.
an Xbox, there'd be a lot of that where if you used the analog instead of the like the D-pad, as the screen transitions would happen, it would like mess with the controls, and then you'd end up going the opposite way or back and forth. And so yeah, I can see that. But if you're out there, I would love to meet you.
I wouldn't.
I would want to shake your hand and take you out to dinner possibly, because I just want to have known that by the time I pass away, I can safely say I met a horizontal inverted.
They could meet you after
Player.
you die. Maybe you got your grave somewhere and they lay a Nintendo 64 controller.
Maybe this
In
is
their
just,
honor.
Maybe this is the point in my life where talking about this, I now challenge myself to become that person.
It's not too late. We have N64s.
Create my own speedrunning categories, just inverted everything, retrain my brain. It'll probably be bad for real life, because then everything I do at work and in real life
way.
will,
Left is right. And
Start
right
driving
is left.
on the right-hand side, left-hand side.
Like change personalities, just turn into a
Drive
werewolf.
down the wrong side of the highway.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Maybe that's why no one does the horizontal.
Yeah. Well, if they did, they had a car accident.
It's like the dark side. It's just it's a dangerous path. That
it
once
could
you,
actually be like a alternate dimension that you
They're
go to.
probably
and as soon as you enable horizontal.
Like you get some real actual benefits from it, but those benefits tap into a power that is not.
Warlock patron, devil patron offers you some sort of contractual agreement to. They're like left-handed people, you know?
Yeah, left-handers.
Yeah.
Kidding.
No.
Kidding. I oddly work with 3 people that are left-handed at work. And I work at a pharmacy, so like there's like only one counting tray. I've never worked at a pharmacy where there's only one counting tray for a right-handed person. They're all left-handed and only one for me. So like every time like someone else hides it, I have to like
reassess your life. Like, what
I look drunk working because I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know I can't adapt to this environment.
Yeah, what is the saying? Readapt. Act, what does Michael Scott say? Readapt.
I don't know. Adapt.
Act. React. Readapt. I wish I remembered the saying.
It was not that, but it was something close to it.
I'd like The Office multiplayer game. That'd be cool.
That'd be good too.
You know, just run around the office and just like shoot paper at people or something.
Yeah.
You know, chuck
any stapler.
Yellow, like, you know, the grenades would be like staplers and jelly.
I'll play that. Did you ever do co-op?
Some. Not a lot, but I'm trying to remember the games that I did. Like Borderlands was a big co-op multiplayer one. I think a lot of it was like SNES, like Contra.
Yeah.
Contra was a big
Classics.
one. I was a big Alien Wars fan. That game was hard.
Contra 3? Yeah. Alien Wars? It was. Some great stages, though. I like the flamethrower, too.
I remember I got into watching speed runs, I want to say like maybe 2015 is when I found out about AGDQ and stuff. And I remember one year someone was speed running the Alien Wars with a partner, and I was like, whoa. My mind just blew. And then I saw that the estimate was only like 20 minutes, and I instantly just got mad, and I was like, are you serious? And then I watched it, and there wasn't really any glitches, and there was some like optimal
positioning.
Yeah, optimal positioning, and like, you know, being able to like work things in your favor. But that's just, you know, I don't look at that stuff like that like as like cheating, like especially like in old games like Donkey Kong and all that other stuff. Like just pattern recognition is not cheating. That's just you knowing how. You know, that's just you knowing the game.
Yeah, that's the stage.
So yeah, Contra Wars. I can't really think of. I'm sure there were more. I can't think of too many that I played on the regular.
I played a bunch. There's Resident Evil 4, 5, or Resident Evil 5 and 6, which I both played co-op. I really liked them both co-op. Yeah, you don't like them, I understand.
Resident Evil 5, I take that. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun co-op.
Resident Evil 6.
Resident Evil 6 was fun co-op.
Only thing I ever played in that was Mercenaries.
I don't blame you.
The main game was complete trash.
See, I did something before. As soon as I started out Resident Evil 6, I disabled most of the HUD, and it became
it wasn't
instantly
even HUD.
better.
It was just, I don't know.
I think it is.
So if you're gonna reinvent the game and go like the RE4 route, that's fine. But then when you go like a little too far, like I remember I pre-ordered one of the few games I ever pre-ordered was the Umbrella Chronicles, and I bought like the $100 version, and I was just like, what?
Disappointed. Yeah.
Even though it had multiplayer aspects to it, I was just like, what is this crap?
That game had some rough shooting. When you
rough would be an understatement.
Co-op can absolutely save a game for me. Like a game can be so much worse, but if I can play it multiplayer, co-op, I'll play it like Resident Evil 6, and I'll probably have a good time with it, like Resident Evil 6.
Resident Evil 5, I'm trying to think, besides just the fact that you could play the main campaign together, there was Mercenaries, but there wasn't anything else you could do multiplayer in that, was it? Or was it just the main game?
They added some multiplayer. I think they added some multiplayer modes later. That might have been RE6, honestly. I forget. But there was some, maybe it was RE6. There was one where someone was the tyrant, and it was 2 teams competing to try and kill him,
Okay.
which was pretty cool game mode.
Actually, that just reminded me of a game when we're done.
What?
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
You ever play Left 4 Dead?
Oh yeah, I played a lot of Left 4 Dead.
That
Left 4 Dead was such a great game.
was excellent.
Did you play it on 360 or?
Yeah, I was always a
Yeah.
Xbox fanboy. Even
No.
though PlayStation was technically probably
However
better
you
the
can
whole
play
time.
it. It was
Yeah.
that game was so much fun.
It was, man, that was one of those games that you could be vengeful too. Like someone gets knocked down, even though you know you're probably not going to win. It's like screw you, pal. You know.
Oh yeah. Listen, I had expectations.
Yeah.
You got to go back and try and save someone if it's reasonable. And if you didn't
the
do
most
that,
part.
it was like,
For the most
you know
part.
what? I'm killing you as soon as I get back.
How did you feel about the second one? Did you like it better or worse?
I didn't play it as much.
Yeah, no, me either.
I mean, I had nothing against it. It was just, I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 1,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. And Left 4 Dead 2 was like, well, I mean, I played Left 4 Dead 1. I didn't like the characters as much as Left 4 Dead 2, which was a big problem for me. Because I loved the characters from Resident Evil.
Who was the first one? Was the young kid, the old guy,
Oh, God.
the chick with the brown
There's
hair?
the biker guy.
And the biker guy. That's
There's the
what I'm
black
thinking,
guy who was the pharmacist, I think.
In the first game?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
there's
right.
a black guy with
That's
the kind of white business suit. There's the biker guy. There's the old Vietnam vet, and then there's kind of like
Yeah.
the younger woman with the kind of looked like Claire from Resident Evil 2, honestly. Remind me of.
That harkens back to what we were talking about before about like that was one of those games with is similar to zombies that when you got to the end, like if you went through all 4 chapters and then you just got to the Outlast,
God.
there were certain maps that had little spots you could stand in that you'd never get hit.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
cheese it, but like
You played it regularly.
if you played it
was
regularly, made it through, you just
so
that
much
feeling
fun.
of just like
Holy
just,
shit. Yeah. The finales were so good. I love Left 4 Dead 1, honestly. The campaigns were like, there was 4 different ones, and I think they added more. And they were like long stretches, and the finales were crazy. It was like, holy crap.
Well,
we
that
wanna
too,
make
and
it.
like the one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to zombie games is like the special zombies, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it gets a little too much. Like they'll make like a really grounded game. Like I remember when Dead Island came out, and it was like, okay, this, that, the other, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden this comes out, that comes out, more and more just ridiculous.
Yeah, zombies and guns.
But like with Left 4 Dead, it was like, okay, you had a bouncy
Spitter,
guy,
yeah.
you had a jumpy
Hunter.
guy, a tongue guy, a blowy uppy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't anything too crazy, but it was enough to like have distinct, different
yeah.
variety and different gameplay, and that honestly, that's another game where like having a solid team with you, like if you played with randoms, you almost never won.
Yeah.
Because everyone.
Play with friends, it was great.
But getting to be the tank was always dope.
Yeah, the player versus player mode.
Well, no, in multiplayer, like every so often, someone would have the option of being the tank. And then
Really?
you yeah.
Wreck your friends? That was something you could do?
No, when we were playing like 4 vs 4.
Oh, yeah, the 4...
Yeah,
Did you do the 4v4 mode more, or did you do regular co-op
50-50.
more? 50-50? I
Yeah.
did most of the co-op more. The PvP one was great when you played as a tank, yeah.
Yeah, PvP every now and then. You didn't get to be it often because you only got 1, maybe 2 a game. But so you have to get kind of lucky on rolling correctly. But
It was fun playing as the zombies. I like playing as the spitter with the tongue or
Yeah.
whatever. I love that the most, I think. Because there's certain maps you could drag them off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, you're done, dude. If
would
you get
be-
hit once, it's over.
I was the Pouncer.
The Hunter, I think it was called. Yeah. That was a pretty good one, too.
You die easily because obviously you're on top of them, so like everyone else could just shoot you off. But it was just something about just jumping on.
What was there was the fat guy who could barf on people. There was the Hunter who could bounce. There's the guy with the tongue. What was the 4th one, or was there a 4th one?
I don't know. I don't remember what the 4th one was. I'm pretty sure there was a 4th one, but there was also the witch,
Oh yeah, the witch.
where like she'd be in a random room, and if you like shine too much light on her, she would just like insta kill you or get pretty
crazy.
darn close to it.
Yeah, the witches were cool.
I'm pretty sure there was a 4th one though.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. But no.
Did you play the spiritual successor to that? For the Back for Blood?
No, is it good?
not as. It was still dope.
What do you don't like?
I played a little bit of it. No, I didn't play enough to really have a solid opinion. It didn't have the same. Sometimes like when a game comes out and it's like the spiritual successor or it's the same company and they it was dope for a little bit, but it just is not the same.
Didn't quite get the
and that could just be the nostalgia factor of playing the first one so much.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they can change things enough to spice it up, but it's just like I just give me my
original
that
they won't get. Whereas Left 4 Dead 3, everyone wants Halo 3 or
SM64
Half-Life
is cool,
3.
but just give me my Super Mario Brothers 1985 and I'll be fine.
Exactly. But no, it was cool having you on here.
Yeah, man.
Been
Appreciate
going
it.
an hour.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of it down.
Yep.
Now you have a Twitch. Is this right?
Yeah. So I do live streaming on Twitch under the alias BronzeGod321. That there's no E. BronzGod321. Haven't been on a few months due to some family issues, but I should be back either this weekend or next weekend. Main game is Hearthstone, but I do a variety of stuff, and I will eventually get back into doing Pokemon giveaways.
Pokemon card giveaways?
Pokemon cards, yes. That was kind of my thing. And once a week, I would, just whether it's through gaming or just Nightbot, commands, packs, cards, singles, everything's free. It's going to take some time to recuperate some of that with what I've been having to deal with, but I'll be on that soon. And then same thing with YouTube, youtube.com/BronzeGod321. And I'll be starting to put some of my gaming clips there too. So
awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Hearthstone, play Smash. All those
See y'all later.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.